Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another video. In this one I want to talk about voice acting. The good stuff, the bad stuff, the upsides, the downsides. And this is probably the first video where I'll be pointing towards World of Warcraft from all directions and saying this is good. Because World of Warcraft has the best amount of voice acting out of any MMO that's on the market right now. And what Blizzard does the best is they know how to deal with money. Okay, they know that if you use too much money on voice acting, the rest of the game will suffer. If you just put millions and millions of dollars into voice acting, you might not have enough to make an amazing raid or to rip off Pokemon and stuff like that. So, and of course they do have big names in their games, they have these big voice actors, but they also have the generic voice actors, like the one chick that's in every game ever, and the one guy that's in every game ever. But one thing they're doing very well is they're using their own people, people from Blizzard, to voice act their characters. The first guy that comes to mind is Chris Metzen, the lore guy, and the guy that usually goes, and the next expansion is Hello Kitty Island Adventure. That guy, as far as I know, that guy is the voice of a Marine in StarCraft. He's the ghost from the original StarCraft. He is the voice of the Battlecruiser in StarCraft. And he's Thrall. Chris Metzen is Thrall. And having Metzen as the voice of Thrall has a lot of upsides. Because first of all, Metzen loves Thrall. And when you love the character you're voice acting, the voice acting will probably be pretty damn good. And they have to pay him anyway. So it doesn't really matter. It's cheaper than hiring, something like Bethesda did. Having the Emperor voiced by Captain Picard and then immediately kill the Emperor. Yeah, that costs a lot of money and the effect isn't that great. Just imagine Oblivion and the Emperor being voice acted by someone else other than Captain Picard. Would that make a big difference? Not really. And if it's not that important, they just spend a lot of money on something that doesn't need to be there. And Blizzard, they are masters of this. They know where the money needs to go most of the time. Okay, just imagine every NPC, every quest NPC reading you the quest text in game. How old would that get? That will get really old really fast. Okay, here is an example. Just imagine that every random NPC or daily quest NPC, instead of saying this, tell me of your travels, it would say this. There are 4 august celestials who rule over this land. Yulon, the Jade Spirit, a life-giver of the East. Chi, the Red Crane, hope of the South. Xuen, the White Tiger, whose strength upholds the North. And Nuzel, the Black Ox, who stands tall in the west. Recently, with the advent of Shah, turmoil has engulfed each of their temples. They need our help, troll. Darkness enshrouds the temple of the Jade Serpent, and Yulon's priests besiege us for aid. They hold the Shah in check, but just barely. You may be able to turn the tide, Druid. Speak to Elder Sage Taifeng at the Jade Temple grounds in the Jade Forest. Just imagine going through that 2,534 times. Now, if you're a sane and reasonable person, you would probably start skipping over this after, 10 quests, 20, 30, 40, 50. But eventually you will skip the dialogue. And Blizzard knows that. They know that you're okay with the NPC saying, tell me of your travels, instead of saying everything it has to say. And they know that people would skip over it, so they just don't bother. They keep voice acting to certain parts of the game, scripted events, cutscenes, and important characters. And for those of you who might think that it might be kinda cool to have all this voice acting, I have to ask you something. Would you rather have all these characters voice acted, as I've demonstrated, or would you rather have Siege of Orgrimmar with 14 bosses? Because when they take all this money and throw it into voice acting, we might only get Siege of Orgrimmar with 8 bosses. Because the money that was previously there is now in voice acting. that kind of thing. You need to balance it out, and Blizzard realized the voice acting is not that important, and endgame, dungeons, Timeless Isle, new quests, new profession things, that's more important. And that's really good, because they're prioritizing the important stuff. That's always good, you can't argue with that. Now, so far I've been focusing on friendly NPCs and important characters, but how about bosses in dungeons? Just imagine going to Shattered Halls, and instead of the last boss going, I am mad, and therefore I need to cut off your willy, and immediately charging you as the encounter starts, you would have flashbacks. You pull the boss, so to speak, and now the screen goes black and you have flashback to his past. And this is not lore correct, do not send me messages about this, okay? As he's a little boy and his hand is about to be cut off and replaced with an axe and he cries. Then another flashback where he's older and the hate is boiling inside him with an epic voiceover and a bombastic soundtrack. Then another flashback as it goes as he's an adult and he's defeating foes on the battlefield. And then the most epic of voices goes, and that has made me what I am. Now prepare your willies, for they're about to be cut off. Now, that might be cool the first time around, but the second time around, you'll be more like this. Which button turns this off? How do I skip this? Hey, can I skip this? So once again, a lot of money wasted on something that's not that important. Okay? And it doesn't need to be there. It interrupts the gameplay, and most people will just skip over it. So they just don't bother. Once again, good. And the most important of things, for me at least, is the fact that they are not voice acting player characters. That's actually a major issue I have with Guild Wars 2, because the character I have in Guild Wars 2 is just that character. It's a character that ArenaNet envisioned, and I can't project onto that character very well. As opposed to World of Warcraft, where my character doesn't have any voice acting outside of emotes, but they are generic, I can associate any voice with him, or any personality pretty much. So for instance, my paladin is pretty dumb. Oh dear, I think I got myself stuck on this mountain again. Oh my. My druid is a bit of a dick. Hey mon, what's with that ugly ass helm you're wearing on your head? What? You're not wearing a helm? Oops. And my DK is always sad.
Wait, whoa. Why am I naked? Oh god, he made another plate old and he gave him all my heirlooms. Again.
And that wraps up my thoughts on voice acting in World of Warcraft and MMOs in general. If you have anything to say, comment section, I would love to discuss this with you. But anyway, I thank you all for watching and listening. I hope you liked this video, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.